Welcome to JB Trio Podcast, Season 8, Episode 10, the finale. I'm Lee McDonald Jr.
Chris, the new season, the new kid, Woodmansey.
Mark, the ancient warrior merchant.
The ancient under-the-weather warrior merchant.
Yeah.
He's got the sniffles, and he's got the coughs. He's blaming it on Chris because Chris coughed on him last week.
You know why? Because I was showing him how to choke, and he did great.
Well, if there's anybody that can teach somebody how to choke, that's definitely you.
Well, you're a good student because you demonstrated very well.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was definitely the season of the choke. And it was a hell of a season. We had a lot of fun. The playoffs were fun. They were very interesting. We just got finished bowling our last week of the summer. We all said our goodbyes to our summer bowlers, which fortunately, majority of them said they're coming back next week for the fall. We're starting our fall league next week. So it was fun and it was interesting. So why don't we go right into the fastest 3 minutes of bowling? We'll tell you how it went. In last place was the better halves, the wives. They were bowling up against the edible panties, and the better wives coming in for the clutch. They won 30 out of 40, so they did pretty good that night. So
they were showing them how to eat those panties.
They finally came through, and they helped me get the victory. I think, didn't I pick? We'll have to get to beat Mark's picks here in a minute. I can't remember I'm pretty sure I picked them, maybe, I think. I don't know, but we'll find out. But yeah, so good job for the wives. They come in clutch the last 2 weeks, winning 2 weeks in a row to finish out the league. So kudos to them. Then the next pair was the Hayways, which was minus Daniel. He couldn't make it for the last week. And was against Peyton and Ricky, the CYMG, with minus Peyton. Peyton was under the weather, so he was not feeling good. And because of that, they kicked ass. Ricky pretty much swept Christian. Christian didn't bowl that hot. So Ricky won for the night, 36 out of 40. So maybe that was the key. Peyton just needed to not show up. So CYMG took the big win. Next pair, team number 4. That is Average Joe's, who bowled pretty good, but they went up against Team 6, which is Too High. And, of course, Too High has been on a complete meltdown roll of whoever they bowled against every week. And it continued. They whooped some ass and took some names. They ended up beating Average Joe's 28 out of 40. So finishing off the last 4 weeks in a row, a solid month for Too High. So they ended with a win. And the next pair, Team 11, the Ballas, with Uncle Eric and TJ, both confirmed they're coming back for the fall. They bowled up against team number 2, which was, for the longest time, one of the solid teams in the league, Purple Cobras. It was Chris and Chris, so it was a family affair with Chris Saunders and
rigged
against Eric Saunders. And turned out the Ballas had their best night of bowling. Eric Saunders bowled a 600 against his brother. He showed up, and they won 32 out of 40.
Rigged.
The Chris of Southwest, the Purple Cobras, ended up losing.
We felt bad because we beat them so badly. We beat them so badly, we felt really bad.
Yeah, the first time you guys fought each other, you guys whooped their ass.
Yeah.
And they got revenge.
Yeah. And they said they needed the extra money.
Oh, so, yeah, they did.
So,
it was a charity thing.
Yeah, so.
It was a gimme win. I see.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
And the next pair was Team 9, who one of the teams we thought was going to end up being the top contender, ended up trying to fight for 4th place. And they bowled up against the team that should have won first place. We Got Balls. So it was the battle of who the We Gots. And the We Gots got We Gotted. And We Got Balls got their balls taken away because We Got dropped, almost swept them, 38 out of 40. But it was pretty much a free night for We Got Balls since they were already clinched for 3rd place. They couldn't lose their position. They couldn't gain any. It was kind of a night where they can actually probably didn't even need to show up. And they kind of did show up, but they really didn't.
Yeah, I realized I can't bowl with 2 hands.
Good for his word. Last week he said he's going to bowl with two hands. All right, and finally, the winner of the whole entire league came down to two teams.
Horrible.
Came down to Pin Pals, which is Matthew and Bryson, against Team 12. We here for the beer, which is Jose Belcher, the baseball player, and Mike Wang. And the heavily favored Mike Wang and Jose came in, and Jose was not there. It ended up being George, who's a very solid replacement, but it was pretty much all Pin Pals.
Solid. Did you not see his series?
Yeah, he bowled pretty bad. Poor George.
Yeah.
But the league comes down to Pin Pals winning the whole entire league. They kicked some ass that night, 38 out of 40. It was pretty much over after the second game. Pin Pals, they were clutch in the end. I think even in the whole league, they were losing pretty much the first half. They were up and down. I don't even think they made anybody's top four, if I remember right, when we were doing power rankings. But they just come on real strong in the end. They clutched it out, and they won the entire league. Congrats to Pin Pals for winning first place in JB Trio Summer. Second place was Here for the Beer. They lost that last night, but they claimed second. We got Balls in third place. They finished out with 312 points. And Ballas come in clutch at fourth place. Or no, excuse me, take that back. We got Drop claimed fourth place. They were at 288. And then Ballas was in fifth place at 273. Too High came all the way back from last place in the early part of this league and was in last place for many, many weeks. Kudos to them because they got all the way to sixth. So that's right at the halfway point when you got 12 teams. So they were in sixth place with 282. Finished above 50% winning, so good job for those guys. Just finishing just under 50%, and at seventh place was Purple Cobras at 252. CYMG with Peyton and Ricky at 248. They were in eighth place. Average Joe's managed to squeak out some victories and climbed up to ninth place at 241. Better Halves jumped out of the last place gutter. They're at 230, so they were in 10th. Edible Panties, unfortunately, claimed 11th. They stayed in 11th at 218. And in last place, the Hayways, 213. They had a rough last month. They were in some of our top four in the power ranking, but they managed to lose a bunch, and they climbed all the way to last, unfortunately. So, and there you have it. That is the fastest 3 minutes for the last one for the summer. So what'd you guys think of that summer?
Gotta be the worst season we ever had.
We Got Balls had 312 points, which was the most in the league.
And you still lost.
Most in the league and came in third place.
So wait, would you say, Lee, is that the biggest Titanic season you ever seen?
It's up there. It's up there.
That's the biggest Titanic. They had the most points and they still lost.
Yeah, well, me and Ron weren't high-fiving it. Like, we weren't high-fiving like we won.
Okay. I remember that one. I don't know. What was Chris Saunders' team last year? What was in the fall? What was their name?
Oh, my God. Milk-Tina, right? No,
that was the poker name. Milk-Tina, which is another good name. That's like Edible Panties.
Yeah, what was their team name?
I forgot. But anyway, so Chris Saunders' team consisted of him, his wife Tina, and Diago. God, I can't think of the name. That's how bad my memory is already. But that was a pretty big Titanic disaster because they were in first place for, it seemed like 3 whole months. It seemed like it. Like in the second half of the league, it seemed like they were in first like at least 3 months. Maybe not that much. Maybe exaggerating a little bit, but that was a pretty big choke job, and they lost it in the last night of the league almost. That was pretty big. There's been a lot of choking going on. I don't know if it has anything to do with the president, that president guy. Who's that? Who's the president of the league? I forget. Oh, yeah. He's on the standing sheet.
I think he's a pretty good guy.
And there's a rumor that they're going to try to throw that president out
I've
tomorrow
heard
night.
that. I've heard
No,
that.
I don't think so. People
I
love
Tomorrow,
think
it.
he's got the votes, though. I think he's got the
I'm
votes.
like,
I don't know,
I'm
man.
like, guys.
If I were you, Chris, I'd start shaking a lot of hands before the meeting starts because
You better start kissing some babies.
yeah, there is emotion. There's going to be emotion on the floor to replace you.
I mean, saying
President's
without me, no one. I mean, without me, I mean, this whole league wouldn't be where it's at.
Oh man,
You know, I will admit, you have done a lot and a solid job of recruiting. You managed to recruit Mike Wang and Jose from Fridays, which is great. And
Chris Saunders, Tina, Diago. I mean,
I'll give you the credit. You deserve some of the credit.
Christian Gomez. Now Christian Gomez is bringing people.
No, wait a second though. He has driven out some people too.
Yeah.
Let's give him some of that credit too.
If you got to take the credit, you got to take the bad with the good.
That's right.
Well, he is right. I did.
Do we have a list for that? We have a list.
No, it's only one team.
One team.
The Coopers.
Yeah, but what about that guy you used to bowl with?
Oh, that's your fault. That's your fault.
That ain't my fault.
Yeah, the 9. Remember the 9?
Austin, when he brought the 9, the girl that we thought looked like a 9. And we said, is that your wife? No. Oh, well, sorry. And who else? Wasn't it somebody else, though? There was somebody. Yeah. Oh, wasn't that guy David a part of your group, too? That guy that got arrested and like. Yeah.
Oh, no. I knew of him. Jake and Phil.
You recruited him.
Jake Phil. There it is. Jake and Phil's another 2.
Jake and Phil.
No, they left half the season. They still joined.
But when you count the whole team, that's 3, and then you count those other 3 we just mentioned, that's 6.
Okay, 7. How many people went to Mark Green?
Oh, well, he brought Ron Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ron Reynolds.
No, Ron Reynolds was already bowling in this league.
Kyle Howell.
How about this?
I brought Tracy Howell.
He did brought Tracy.
No, he's not the bowl though.
We would not have any trophies without Tracy.
That's right.
What's his track record in the last 4 months or last 4 years? Like 4 years.
It's probably like first place.
He focuses mostly on bowling.
Yeah, but I will say I'm the guy that comes up with the good prize funds.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
It's horrible. It's just that it doesn't look good for you because you're always down the bottom.
No, it's my team. I'm not. I'm up top.
Oh, I will back to blaming the team. Oh,
I will say that the prize fund that we had last fall was a very good prize fund. Really was. I don't know if the house kicked in some money or something, but it worked. It ended up being a pretty decent prize fund.
The house did kick in a few extra dollars.
Yeah.
It was our biggest prize fund that we've had in years.
Yeah,
it's also the most teams that we've had in years. We started the league with 16. We ended with 14. We had one of Chris's teams.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
What? One of my teams?
Wasn't it Nick and
Jake and Phil?
Well, Jake and Phil.
That's not my team.
There was 2 teams actually.
That's not my team. Nick and
it was Jake and Phil that dropped, so the whole team dropped, and then it was. Remember?
Are you talking about last year?
Yeah,
last fall.
Remember Nick and Nick and Neil Taylor? I think is their last name. Remember those straight bowlers?
Yeah.
They bowled down the middle.
I'm glad they quit.
Yeah, they quit. Didn't you bring them in too?
It was the Hickeys.
I didn't bring them.
Hickeys, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I did not bring them.
I thought you brought them in.
No, they were like the family. Yeah, you talking about the family, the drunken people?
Yeah.
No, I did not bring them in.
Oh, I recruited them guys too.
Oh, they drank like a freaking gallon of beer every night.
They drank their way out of the league.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it really was a good prize fund. I will say it was one of the best we've had. Any chance of the house kicking in some money?
If we can get up to 16 teams again, that gives us a bonus. But unfortunately, it's not looking good.
Yeah,
we had 12 confirmed for the longest time. We gained 2, so we were at 14. But when I went to reconfirm and sent text messages this week, I had 2 of my confirmed teams drop out on us. One of them was Cody and Sean Taylor and Gary. I forget what their team name was last year, but I text those guys and they defected to the early league. So
Yeah.
unfortunately we lost them. And then another team we lost is, it wasn't really a team. They were kind of half a team. It was Darren and Patrick.
Okay.
So Darren is not coming back.
That's too bad.
And then Mike Ensline is out he bowled with, Mike Henderson.
Yeah.
So he said he's going to try to recoup his body. Is getting pretty bad from what he told me in that party when we went to with Rick. I thought maybe putting him and Patrick and Henderson together. So they'll be together, and I found a third bowler for them, so they'll have a team. There's a guy that's a kind of a sign up off the street guy. He just signed up. His name's Brandon. So he'll be joining that team.
Tina?
Tina, I wanted to pick with Eric Saunders because Eric Saunders said he's in. So I figured since they're kind of related, I put them two together.
Definitely ask Tina on that one.
Okay, that's.
They might have a.
Maybe you ought to put like Brandon with. Brandon's the guy that won first place, right?
No. Brandon. This Brandon is.
This is somebody else. Okay.
Is completely new.
Okay.
I was going to put Eric and Tina together if Tina's willing to bowl with that Bryson kid. That's who you're thinking of.
Oh, that's right, Bryson.
Yeah, okay. I was going to put those three together, and then I was going to put Henderson, Patrick, and Brandon together. So that makes two full teams that replace the two teams that we lost. But yeah, other than that, it looks like a lot of the teams that were bowling last fall are coming back. So that text that y'all got, a lot of everybody else got, I got responses from, I'd say damn near everybody. So the good news is a lot of our low bowlers are coming back. We gained 2 and lost 2. We gained 2 and lost 4 because we had 14 last year and we lost 4, but we only gained 2. So right now we're at 12 teams. And again, even though the night hasn't gotten here, I think tomorrow night, hopefully if we get some walk-ins, we might be able to sneak by and get a 13th team and then bowl with a blind team for team 14, which is what I'd like to do. You kind of always like to have a blind team in there just in case you get another team by week 3 or 4 coming in, because that's usually what happens every year. We always seem to get a team that comes in and we got to tell them to do a makeup game for the first week. So
now, obviously, Kyle retired Jared, so who's filling in for Jared?
TJ off the
That's
summer
right.
league.
Yeah, I know who. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So I hyped him up with Neil and Gil, and I wanted to find a solid bowler for those guys. And I said, TJ is pretty good. And so I had more of a confirmation from TJ than Eric. It was going to come down to Eric or TJ. And TJ gave me the confirmation first. Eric gave me the confirmation right when I text, so I didn't get his till later. But I think it'll work. I'm hoping Tina changes her mind and comes back. So I'll have to get with her and maybe send her a text after we're done here. I kind of got a 50-50 when we talked to her last in the poker tournament that she was going to sit out, but if anybody needs her. So now that we have a team that needs her, so maybe she'll change her mind. And especially now that she thinks it's, with Eric, maybe since it's a family affair, it'll give her extra incentive to bowl.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what it's looking like for the fall. So
sometimes those family affairs don't work out. Just ask Chris and Chris. Chris Saunders and Chris.
I don't know. Chris, this may be one of his first times in maybe a few years where he's got a team that's going to stay with him the whole season.
Yeah, exactly.
His two best friends. So, Chris Saunders and Diego, I think that's going to be not only a loyal team, but a solid team too. Chris,
I don't know. When I was talking to Chris Saunders last week after that card fiasco, he was thinking him and Diego were going to look for a third partner.
Yeah, well, when in doubt, I make the final decision. If we do good, I'll keep the team next year. If not, Tina can take back her spot, and then move on. I'll create a team.
So you're saying you replaced Tina, or that they just happened to join you?
In all realness, like truthfulness, I think that we wanted to play as friends, all those together, and do 1 year together and be the only dads.
That kind of sounds like that sounded like he deflected the answer there a little bit.
How many falls have you bowled in JB Trios, Chris?
Oh my God, like 6, 7 years?
6?
A lot, actually, yeah.
Okay. I can't recall, but you've been on 5 different teams in the last 6 years.
Do you remember my first team I ever played on when I first joined JB Trios? I came in as a single. I came as one solo player. I didn't know anybody. And Lee put me on a team with a big guy, don't know his name, and then Timmy.
Timmy and the Cats.
Yeah,
I thought you bowled with Forrest. You bowled with Forrest.
Was it Forrest?
No, that was Forrest and Eddie. That was another lead year. But my first year ever, I bowled with Timmy and another guy.
And neither of them bowl anymore.
Yeah, I remember I bowled with Forrest
Jim
and
dropped
Eddie.
out.
Yeah, we bowled with Eddie and Forrest.
What the hell happened to Forrest? I haven't seen that guy around a long time.
He moved out of state.
He did?
Yeah.
Isn't he in Michigan or something like that?
You friggin' drove him out of state?
And Eddie died.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, don't bring that up. Oh, we loved Eddie.
We did.
Damn.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
Well, Mark could joke about Eddie as well, but we'll think those jokes. We won't have to say it.
I mean, I honestly think Eddie will appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you knew Eddie, if you truly knew Eddie, he always
would love that. He would love that.
So the fact is, Chris, you either drive him out or you kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be a statistic. It's on the list.
Uh-huh.
It has to count. But now you got me thinking who the hell that first team was. So I do remember it was Tim.
It was Tim, and then his buddy from work. It was a big guy that barely showed up half the time.
Oh, is that what I did to you? I stuck you with one of those guys?
Yeah.
That was just a summer league, I think.
No, it was true. It was true.
It was fall? Okay.
Uh-huh. Our team name was Tim Has 12 Cats.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that.
And then Camilla wanted to join, and Camilla was with Clayton and then the black guy, Patrick. Or, yeah, his name was Clayton. I think it was Clayton. The big white guy.
And see, you know what's funny is I looked up these names not too long ago because I wanted to do some recruiting from some of the old leagues. And unfortunately, I didn't get anybody. None of the old leagues wanted to come back.
What about the Priors? No?
Pryor said no. I got text David. He said no, he's out. I even texted Charlie, and Charlie's out. He said that they're still doing the basketball league and the hockey league. So he said they're still too busy. Man, I texted a bunch. I texted, I think Chris you'll remember. I know Mark will remember this name. Todd Bezinski or Benezinski.
Yeah, Todd.
I texted Todd.
Yeah.
Never got a response though.
Oh my God. How about that? How about the meanest guy? God, I hated him. He was so mean. No, not Wayne. I like Wayne. But it was with Wayne season. It was the guy who makes pens, Kevin, and his partner. I hate that guy. Kevin.
You talking about Pete?
Pete,
The
Kevin,
one,
and
the one who
Kevin
liked the Longhorns.
Grantier.
Yeah, the one who liked Longhorns, and he was like white guy, with white hair.
Yeah, that was Pete.
Yeah, he had a biggest attitude.
Ron Grantier. He could be talking Ron Grantier.
No, it was Pete. His name was Pete
because Pete's a Longhorns fan.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. It was Pete. He is a Longhorns fan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate it. I mean, he just had the biggest attitude. I'm talking about when he sucked, he let everyone know he sucks.
Yeah, you had to get to know Pete. I actually bowled with Pete one summer, and he does have a mean looking face, but he's actually a nice guy deep down. If you get to know him.
I only did 2. I always like Pete, Ron, and Kevin.
Yeah, I text him. I text Kevin. I got a no response.
Yeah, that would be a broken team. Pete, Ron, and Kevin. Fuck that team.
A bunch of people. I text your old partner, Mark. I think it was another Tim.
Tim Champlain.
Yes, that's him. Champagne.
Oh, Tim Champagne?
Yeah.
Oh, remember
he would have been a good bowler to come back on. I was going to stick him with Neil. But he was a no.
Oh, hey, what about Michael Henderson?
Yeah, Henderson's coming back. I got a response from Mike. I'm putting him with Patrick and that new guy, Brandon.
You know, Henderson would have been good with Neil, and Neil's in love with Henderson.
I thought so, but I wanted to get somebody that
he always sings Henderson's praises.
He does. He really does.
You know what, though? I think, honestly, I think if Henderson had been on their team, he'd probably be about 10 to 15 pins better because they would be showing him what to do.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I mean? They would be moving him around, and they'd make him so much better than really quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's committed to TJ. Yeah. So
I mean, he's improved a lot. Don't get me wrong. Henderson.
Wait. It's Eric, TJ, and Henderson?
No, TJ is bowling with Neil and Gil. So he's replacing Jared. Henderson is bowling with. We're going to put him together with Patrick and one of our new bowlers named Brandon. So last year Henderson bowled with Ricky and Michael Ensline. Ricky said he's not coming back, and Ensline said he is taking the fall off.
Wait. TJ Phillips is bowling with Neil
and Gil
and Joe Bear.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he got handed the stack team.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he got handed that team.
You're giving a team that had the high scratch with the biggest handicap.
Well, I had to get him in because TJ was 50-50. He was like, I don't really want to bowl. Eric I didn't get a response out of him at first. So I asked him, and then finally, just like a few days ago, he finally texted me, says I'm in. And so when he said that, I'm like, okay.
That's going to be hard.
That's too bad because I think him and TJ would have been good together with a third bowler.
I would have liked to have kept them together since they were together.
Hey, let's switch it up. Let's put TJ with Eric, wherever team that's on, and then we'll put Tina with Joe Bear and Neil.
Even it out. I don't know if Neil would finish the whole season with that. That's another thing is that when you get guys with that mentality, you want to keep them happy, and so sometimes you got to get them bowlers that you think would make them happy. And so it was kind of a toss up, and I thought TJ would be a good fit because he's a nice guy, he's very likable, but he also averages very high. So I think I can keep that team more solid by putting them with TJ. But again, I'll leave it up to them. If TJ and Eric want to bowl together,
I thought you could put TJ and Eric together and then throw Henderson with.
Or how about Neil?
I don't think Neil and Joe Bear would have a problem with Henderson. I think they could really turn his game around.
I'll talk to him.
We put a motion in.
It is what it is. I mean,
we put a motion in. How about this season? Because the David Prize on here.
I just feel if you got Eric and TJ already bowling together, and they did fairly well in the summer.
They did.
And
they really
did. They get along pretty well. It's not like Chris and two other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they get along pretty well. I mean, I think.
How about we just all agree that we put a motion at the tomorrow that we do a fantasy draft. Everyone and then everyone get to choose their partner.
Oh man, we'll probably have the league. That'd be a huge risk.
Is Camilla bowling? Is Camilla bowling?
Yeah, Camilla's bowling.
She's bowling with Mike Wang and Jose.
But we don't know that because we might do a fantasy draft. We don't know that.
Well, I actually wouldn't mind doing that. I would not mind doing that. The only problem I would think though is that who else would mind doing that though? Will the bowlers agree to that? If I had to guess, I'd say
I'm going to put it for a motion.
You'd have better luck with changing the handicap, which is hard enough as it is, than getting that rule passed. And we could ask them and see what they say.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Mark. Oh, you know what? Let's see. What does Mark think of that?
I'm already bowling with Ron in another league. I guess I don't know if we didn't lose any bowlers and everybody was okay about it, I think I wouldn't care.
Yeah, how about we put the motion down, but it has to be unanimous decision. If one person says no,
it really would. Yeah, I mean, it really would have to be.
Yeah, it has to be unanimous decision.
Put it this way, I think when you think about some of the teams out there, like Rick Connor and George, and they got a new guy that's going to be bowling with them. I think they're a team that they want to bowl together. You know what I mean? And so be it. You know what I mean? That's
but we'll
be.
say out loud, if they vote on a fantasy draft league, and then that means they're taking into consideration that they may not be on the same team together.
Yeah. What time is the meeting anyways, Lee?
8:30.
Okay, 8:30. And because like I said, I think they're going to try to overthrow the president in the JB Trios League.
That may be his last decision is when he brings up that new rule he may say, well, that was the worst rule ever, so let's go ahead and impeach him now.
It's not a rule. It's a game theme. A game theme.
They may move you down to Sergeant of Arms.
Oh, that decreases
Kyle's spot. Taking Kyle's spot.
Yeah. What about Kyle?
They might move him up to president.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
I think following will back out of the league if I'm not president.
No, I think what's going to happen, what I really think is going to happen is, I think word about that fiasco with the card game got around that somebody said, well, maybe we should have Chris Saunders as the president.
It could be. It could be. Or he might just be so mad that he'll drop out as vice president.
Somebody said if they had Chris Saunders as president, we know deuces and tens beat deuces and sevens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
With the ace high.
Right.
So, because right now, any two pair with an ace high wins.
No, yeah.
That's right.
Oh man. Well, I'm
gonna put that as a vote. So be warned if you're hearing this, guys. If anyone's listening to this podcast, and I'm gonna put that as a vote for fantasy draft.
But just make sure tomorrow, because the last few meetings you've been late. So make sure to be there first around 20.
And Lee, do you vote for officers first?
Typically, yes. So we get there and we say we're going to go over the rules. Here's your officers. And we do that first. All right. So a lot to think about for tomorrow. So it's going to be a fun night. We're going to do our first episode of the fall JB Trio podcast. So we'll be moving on to season 9. So that ought to be pretty fun. So next season for the fall league, we always break up our podcast into 2 halves, or not 2 halves, 2 seasons. So next season will be season 9 and season 10. Last week I mentioned if we were going to do a 100th episode. Unfortunately, guys, we friggin' missed it. We're on episode 103 right now. Or 104, one of the two. 104 probably. But yeah, we missed it. So we couldn't do a 100 episode celebration. We missed it because we're stupid.
Yeah, you know what I'm missing though? I'm missing a little bit of the Donald Trump and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh man, I missed that.
Yeah, we need to know about Gilbert.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Kind of missing a little bit of the Morgan and Donald Trump, and kind of missed that a little bit.
Yeah, I need my Trump inspiration.
We need to get Gilbert back at it. He's been under
president to president. Yeah, president to president.
You need to get on top of that, Mr. President.
Yeah, we lost our production. We lost our production, man.
No more assassination attempts for you, Chris.
Yeah, I need my best president on my side.
It has been hard without a producer.
It has been, yes, I agree. But there'll be new things in store for the new episode, season 9, including one of the segments is going to be Mark's questioning segment. So it's going to be kind of like Chris Probes, but Mark's going to be doing it live at the center.
Yeah.
So he's going to record people giving an interview and our different bowlers and things of that sort. He might have to give an interview to one of the front desk people or maybe the manager and find out about these foul lights.
Yeah, and while these questions, a lot of the questions I'm going to be asking are going to be downright personal, so they're going to have to raise their right hand and tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, you know.
Exactly.
And very little bowling. We want to get to know who the bowlers are, you know.
Right. And I thought maybe the staff too, if you interview maybe the bartender or the person that serves us food, you know, hopefully they're not putting bugs in the food. No, I'm just kidding.
Remember how we had a couple of teams last year? Are they coming back? You remember how we had Amanda. No, who was it? Was it Amanda?
Amanda's out. I texted Amanda, Larry Hoover. That team's
and Sam.
they're one of the 4 that are dropping.
Oh, that's too bad. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I did too. So Amanda's one of the
Did they say
teams.
why? Because Mark. They said Mark is old. And
I didn't put a
smells like dead
questionnaire
people?
down to see why. Maybe they thought the president was bad.
Dead people.
He could have put Amanda with Neil and
Yeah, the chicken wing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you talking about Amanda Cunningham?
Yeah,
the chicken wing.
the chicken wing. Yes, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
No, she's out. And then
That's too bad.
what other team was out? And it was kind of sad. One of the teams that was in is Saunders and his mother-in-law. So Tina's mom and dad are coming back.
Yeah.
Bob
Yeah.
and Nancy and Anna Marie, they're coming back as a team. They're back. Trying to think who else we lost. I tried to text Dwayne to see if they'd come back. They were no.
Yeah.
The Prides were no. Didn't get a response from Kevin Cobb. Texted a whole bunch of old bowlers.
Yeah.
Christian's coming back, thankfully. He joins up with, oh gosh, who was it? I can't think right now. He's bowling with Edible Panties. He's bowling with Matthew Macy and Brian Brimmerman. So they're coming back. And yeah, it slips my mind. I'll probably remember it next week. So if I mention it in our next week's podcast, and then, of course, in the fall, we're going to bring back our tournament brackets, our fall bracket, winter bracket, and spring. So those will be something to look forward to. It's going to be hard as hell, though, to do 36 bowlers. So I don't know how we're going to line up the brackets with 12 teams and 36 bowlers. So that'll be something we'll have to play with here in the next month or so. So lots on the horizon. But I think we need to talk about one last thing before we wrap this thing up here. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen here. I think I know the results since I talked to Mark about it already, but let's go ahead and close out the season, JB Trio Podcast Season 8, with our favorite segment, Beat Mark's Picks.
Here it goes. It was another
amazing.
It was a disastrous performance,
The choke of the season.
to say the least. But Lee, you were 1 game ahead of me and 2 games ahead of Chris, rolling into the last week, and the results are in.
I don't like how you said that when you said were.
Yeah, were exactly. Chris, you went 3 wins, 3 losses.
Oh, no.
Myself went 3 wins, 3 losses.
Oh, no.
So, Chris, you stay a game back of me. And Lee, you went 2 wins, 4 losses.
Oh, my God. A tie?
That leaves it at a tie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, with who?
He tied with me. He was 1 back of me. I gained 1 on him. I went 3-3. He went 2-4.
Oh, my
So
God.
I went what? I went 3-3.
You went 3-3. You finished 1 game back of first place.
Oh, wait a minute. So if we're tied, that means we both won the bet. So we both won Chris's money.
Yeah, I guess we split the kid's money that he takes out of the bank.
Oh, the $60?
Oh my God.
Yeah. What was it at 100? It was 100, right?
No, it was $20. It was $20.
I thought it was 60.
No, it's 20 each.
20?
60 total.
Oh, it was 60 total. So that means you owe me and Mark 30?
10.
I agree. 30 each.
Or do we want to do a tiebreaker?
We can do it between you and me. We could do a tiebreaker, Lee.
Oh man, what are we gonna do? We should have thought of this before. Now we can't come up with a fair tiebreaker.
Well, I think the guy who had the highest series last week between the 2 of us should get it.
I didn't bowl.
That's right.
So I take a 0? That's not fair.
I will say though, Chris he took the better halves. He was the only person that took the better halves.
Oh man, that's what let me down. I
And
thought
what team did I lose? What team did I lose on? My team?
You went 3-3. So the teams that you lost
Was my team.
You lost
team.
You lost my team, your team,
Michael team.
and here for the beer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all pretty much lost that.
No, actually, I took Pin Pals to win it.
Oh, okay. So that's what helped you.
That was the swing. Pin Pals. I had 10 cows.
So, yeah, I guess since that was kind of underwhelming, that is a choke of the summer. A tie. All those picks. I wonder if we go back and count the weeks that we missed, because some of us were keeping track.
Yeah, like I will tell you, if I had to add up how the overall total went, I don't think any of us were over 50% winning percentage.
Yeah, we all sucked.
It was a disaster.
Yeah, it was bad.
Maybe we should just say the only winners would have to be over 50%. Since none of us won, we just cancel it.
I mean, before last week, Lee, you had high with 2 wins, 4 losses.
Oh,
and me and Chris went 1-5.
Oh.
I mean, it was disaster. But I don't mind splitting it. I don't mind taking 10 off Chris.
All right, I'll agree. 10, maybe. Chris?
I mean, it's y'all. I have to pay up.
Well, all right, I'll do whatever Chris is okay with. If he's okay with
it, y'all.
He lost 20. He'll give you 10. I'll take 10.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So, Chris, you owe us 10.
All right. That's fine.
Well, and there you have it. There was Beat Mark's picks. As underwhelming as it was basically just what do they call it?
A shit show?
Yeah, shit show. It was a microcosm of the season. Basically, it summed up the season perfectly. A choke.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Well, all right, guys. I guess that's how we're going to end it. So we already discussed the fall league, and we discussed how the summer league ended.
Be ready.
Be ready for Chris's team. Be ready for the Only Dads.
Yeah, Lee, who you bowling with?
Me and Peyton and Greg. Greg was a 50-50, but I think he's coming back.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, so I think he'll be here. And if he says no, then I'll be looking for a free agent. I'll have to bring my wife out of retirement.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you wouldn't want to bowl with me again?
My love, I love you, and I love you guys, but yeah, no.
She had to take some serious medication to bowl with you.
Exactly.
Oh,
I know.
Well, I'm not the worst guy to get along with, right, honey?
No, you're not. I thought he was saying I was the worst one that he'd had to bowl with.
No, he's talking about me.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, my love's the best ever. Give me a kiss.
Mwah. Mwah. Hey, see, I got something out of it.
Oh, geez.
Well,
Well, all right, guys. So that about puts a wrap on season 8, episode 10.
tune in, guys, next time. Thank y'all so much for listening to the end and new start of a new season. I know that my fans out there are sad that I have not yet won one since we started this podcast. But hang on. This is a new season, just like the Cowboys. We got it this year. All right? This is our year. Okay? Tune in next time. I'll be following the story of your boy, Chris, the comeback kid Woodmansey. And then we will end up winning the whole league this year. Guaranteed. Boom. If you do not come back, you will be like Mark's team, a big-ass Titanic glacier twice.
All right. Thank y'all for listening this season, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night during bowling.
Yes,
Right, remember, 8:30 to dethrone the president. Be there.
30 meeting time, yes. Gotta be there to vote in person.
I'm going to do a filibuster.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Later.